Greetings all. Today I would like to talk about Helen Dewitt and the Windham-Campbell Prize. But before we begin, a disclaimer. I know nothing about Helen Dewitt beyond this incident. I don't know anything about her possible disabilities, financial records, politics, etc. Nor do I know anything about the people who run the Windham-Campbell Prizes. I have no reason to assume they are intentionally ableist. The winners of the Windham-Campbell Prizes, prestigious writing awards from Yale, were announced in April. During the celebration, Helen Dewitt, author of The Last Samurai and Lightning Rods, said she won one of the $175,000 prizes, but had to turn it down due to the publicity requirements for the award. You might think to yourself, why did she submit an application to the WC prizes? She didn't. Other people nominate you. You aren't notified you are even considered unless you win. Helen Dewitt went through a trying few years that took her away from her writing. She was just getting back into it, coaxing it gently from a borrowed apartment with no internet in Amsterdam. And, though a lot of specifics aren't given, she seems to have anxiety as well as other physical or mental health issues. When she got the news, she was overwhelmed, as well as leery. Windham-Campbell recipients must complete a large amount of publicity, which includes a remote audio interview, an in-person filming session lasting between 6 and 8 hours, a photography session, meeting with PR team members to discuss the media campaign, and possible other media interviews. All awardees are also required to attend a 6-day festival and write a new piece for the Yale Review. Some of these things must be done on somewhat short notice for someone far from home, someone who had zero idea this was coming. It kicked up Ms. Dewitt's anxiety. She asked about alternatives. She said she was disabled. The moment she mentioned disability, Michael Kelleher, the WC director, said he had to consult with the Yale legal department. I realize that's probably standard, but that really didn't sit right with me. And neither did when Dewitt was talking about the prize and said, "Can't get my head around this. Impossible to imagine Pynchon or Cormac McCarthy, in early career, contemplating this with anything but horror. If I had 8 months clear before the festival, I might be able to go to that, but how can I drop everything now, when I finally cleared time to write after 5 very bad years?" What did she mean by this? Did she mean she couldn't imagine them giving up the opportunity to write, truly and without interruption after 5 years? Jumping through a media tour for money? It just sat weird with me, especially when a lot of her points had to do with the ableism of expecting every writer to go through a process not doable for everyone. Regardless, Dewitt and Kelleher tried to negotiate terms and, to his credit, Kelleher did try and work with her. He offered her fewer commitments, transportation, and other things to get everything set up. Dewitt readily agreed to attend the festival. But just when it seemed like things might get on track, the contract she was given, according to her, had no concessions or new provisions. Dewitt would be relying on a handshake agreement with an impossible, for her, contract. She refused to sign. The idea of deferring the prize for a year was also floated by Kelleher, a possibility that first sat well with Dewitt. But taking the year might not guarantee any physical or mental considerations could be ironed out enough to make it work. She started second-guessing and having anxiety. Ultimately, she had to give up the honor. Most people online were pretty supportive of Dewitt, while some called her too lazy for an easy payday. One person even made an entire thread about everything the people at WC offered her to make it seem like the folks at the Windham-Campbell are saints. A couple even said her complaints overshadowed this year's winners. Thankfully, this story has a happy ending for Dewitt. The Emergent Ventures program offered her a grant equaling the prize money she would have won without any of the promotional requirements. There are both covert and blatant aspects to publishing, literary contests, writing residencies, and more that are ableist or work against disabled and neurodivergent people. One year, the AWP conference had steps up to the stage a disabled person was supposed to present on. Most writing retreats that have food included in their packages don't provide options for those who have celiac disease or other dietary restrictions. Submission fees impact disabled writers more than our non-disabled colleagues, because we have over twice the amount of people in poverty living in the United States, according to the Center for Research on Disability for the year of 2023. The promotional aspects of the WC would be ones I also couldn't fulfill. An 8-hour day sitting up and moving around for a camera crew? Agony. Multiple interviews scheduled over the span of a week or two? Brain fog disaster. 6 days at a festival would probably hospitalize me, even if I only needed to participate a few hours each day. The requirements aren't made with certain types of disabled and neurodivergent people in mind. Is that ableist? Not intentionally, but it shuts us out all the same. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time. Bye!